Hello, I'm Harry Hobson, President and CEO of Plymouth Harbor.
And I'm Karen Novak, the Administrator for Strategic Health here at Plymouth Harbor as well.
Hi, Karen. Karen, we've got a relatively brief update for our residents, team members, and family today. Uh, uh, we'll start, of course, with our campus update, and then we'll go through and mention the governor's executive order that was recently signed, that'll be effective actually on July 1st. But before we do that, how about a campus update?
I love starting off by saying we have no residents that are actually positive today. We do have one team member who tested positive last week, and with that we have a resident that is under observation. This team member is isolated at home and doing quite well. Checks in every day, and she's on the right course to getting back to Plymouth Harbor in no time at all.
Okay, great. Thanks, Karen. Karen, as you know, earlier this week, Governor Ron DeSantis did sign into law Executive Order number 21-101. And as I mentioned a moment ago, that's going to be effective July 1st, 2021. Earlier this week, there was some confusion as far as when it would be effective. So it is July 1st, 2021. And that executive order essentially ended many of the restrictions that we've lived by for the past 14 months. What I've done is taken the executive order here, as you can see, from the governor's office. And in the splash that most residents will have by now, and if they don't, they'll be receiving it. In italics, I went ahead and just printed exactly what that executive order states. But the section I think of more relevance is the last section on page 2. And let's spend some time there. What I've said is as it relates to Plymouth Harbor. So can you talk a little bit about that executive order, July 1st, but what's that mean to Plymouth Harbor?
I think it caught us all by surprise that this order did come out first and foremost, but it gave us a little bit of front time, if you will, to really identify some of the plans or some of the processes that have been in place, trying to get those settled, such as our patient care attendant program that has been very successful throughout the state in providing extra help for some entities that needed that extra staff when there was a shortage of them. So it's given us some time to really prepare. It'll be interesting to see what Leading Age has to say about this and how they can support us as we all negotiate through these orders. We have to remember, as much as the governor has said, that we still are regulated by ACA, the Department of Health, and CMS in the Smith care areas, as well as our assisted living and memory care. And what that means is that we're still going to have to do the screening per the regulatory requirements, as well as testing the staff and the residents as needed based on the requirements that are set by CMS, ACA, and the Department of Health.
And Karen, I know that the executive order doesn't mandate that we open the campus more widely to outside guests, but what we want to keep in mind is you've been very consistent for the last 14 plus months, and that is with evidence based. So I know it's our plan to continue to use the CDC as guidance as we make further decisions.
That's correct. We will be following the CDC guidance, and it really is a day-to-day following. Things are changing, and we do expect more to be changing. And I think that's why you and I have been really talking about this process of reopening Plymouth Harbor and looking at things based on our numbers and our rate. Our goal still is to make sure that we have the safest environment possible for all the residents and the staff here at Plymouth Harbor. And by utilizing the CDC guidance, we can assure that we're utilizing those best practices that are put forward.
Absolutely, and as we've talked many times, I've shared with so many residents, and once again, the residents have been absolutely outstanding as the team members as we have slowly reopened things here on campus. So it's still our plan. I know we've talked about it, to revisit the timing on reopening some more of our amenities. Let me give you an example. Uh, the one that's very popular right now is, when will we be able to invite guests for lunch and dinner, a movie, or our invited guests, particularly from out of town, to use our swimming pool or wellness center. Well, that's going to be our focus now, and between now and Memorial Day. And I think that we should be in a position by that time to make some more reopening announcements. Would you
Ab-
agree?
Absolutely. We have started our opening for general guests and visitation here just this past week. And then we added the overnight guests. So we want to really take a look at our numbers and make sure that we don't have any little cluster outbreaks based on this opening. It looks very good. Our positivity rate for here at Plymouth Harbor has been less than 1% for this past month. And our positivity rate for the county of Sarasota for the last 2 weeks has been less than that 5%. And if you recall, that 5% or less is a low risk, which is that risk factor that we've been going on since day one. So we are headed in the right direction. We will reevaluate after Memorial Day. And I know everybody is anxious to get into that dining room, and Curtis and his team are so anxious to have you and your guests there. But we're going to do it the right way, the slow way, and the safest way possible.
Karen, the other area we have been spending a lot of time on, I just briefly mentioned it, I think, during our last video, and just want to reassure the residents that resident engagement activities is really taking center stage for us as well. There is quite a bit going on behind the scenes, and we'll be prepared to talk about that in the not too distant future. So I want you to hang in there. There's a lot of good things coming, I assure you.
Sure. But in the meantime, don't forget to enjoy those international dinners and bring your passport so you can get your passport signed. I know that Summer and her team and Curtis and his team are very proud of what they've done. And so come on down there and enjoy yourself.
Yeah, the international themes, and I understand the entertainment, the music has just been from all around the world has
Yeah.
been well received. So
It's
kudos
an
to the team.
exciting new normal that we're looking at, and we're going to get there.
That's right. That's right. Well, Karen, that's all I've got today on the agenda. And if you don't have anything else, you want to lead us through the end of this.
Absolutely. We want to remind you to wash your hands quite frequently. Remember to hit those high contact areas, your light switches, your keys, and your cell phone. And today, when you are out and about in the community, we want to remind you to use your mask. And I'm going to do something in honor of Curtis today. I'm going to wear a cheeseburger mask just for Curtis to celebrate him and the wonderful catering and dining services team that they have down there. So when you're out in public, you don't have to wear the cheeseburger mask, but do wear a mask, keep yourself safe, and keep those that you love here at Plymouth Harbor as safe as possible. Curtis, this one's for you.
Thank you, Karen. That brings conclusion to this video. So it's time for me to don my boring mask.